So we've all been there. You build a creation and you give it some doors, and then you use the doors, you get inside the creation, and then you fly around for a little bit. Alright, we'll just come in for a nice little landing. Perfect. So after that very short flight, let's see how our doors are doing. This one's stuck, and this one's also stuck. To give that one a block update, and we need to give that one a block update. It's very much not ideal. Like it's really annoying, especially when you compare it to one of my later helicopters. For example, this thing right here, if you ignore the crazy weaponry, this actually has really good doors. It's not like the most ergonomic because of the giant missiles and weaponry, but ignoring that part, as you can see, it's lined with pistons and they actually look good. Unlike placing pistons just like on the door itself, kind of like this, where you can see through the pistons, and when you paint it, you can't really tell. Well, if you painted something other than black, you really can't tell. It still looks black. So these pistons, first of all, they look bad, and second of all, they don't even work half the time, as opposed to these ones, which a quick flight will prove that if I can actually take off. There we go. This helicopter isn't the most agile. Let me drop some of the payload real quick. There we go. Man, this helicopter is sick. Anyway, yeah, so now that we're a lot lighter, in fact, let me also shoot these. Perfect. Okay, now we're even more light. Cool. Alright, so this actually does have a gyro this time, so I don't need to land to demonstrate this. I can just stabilize myself out right about here. Perfect. So let's assess what these doors are looking like. So I press this button, this door works perfectly fine, and I press this button, and this door also works perfectly fine. Absolutely flawless. So in this video I'm going to be talking about how exactly you build this type of door and how you get these pistons to sort of look like they're not attached to anything. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so step one is to decide how big your door is going to be. I'm going to do a 5x9 door because it's a pretty good size for a door in general. There we go, that's a 5x9 door. Now what you're going to need is, first of all, you're going to need to have it be flat. So I'm just going to go ahead and weld it onto that thing just like that, so that it's nice and flat. There we go. Now the next thing, we're going to be lining it with pistons. So you're going to want to remove this outer layer just like so. Perfect. So the next thing you need to do is figure out where you want to attach the door. I want to build a door kind of like this, where I have the floor like that and then the door frame like this. Perfect. So just like that, that's the type of door I want to build. So in order to build that, what I'm gonna need is an attachment point right over here facing this direction, so I can place the bearing there and weld it on. So now, bearing that in mind, I'm gonna grab this pipe piece that looks just like this and then line the entire outside with an attachment point on either side and an attachment point facing upwards. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to ignore the areas surrounding my attachment point and just line the entire outside of this door just like that. Now for the corners, we're going to be using this piece over here so that we have the same sort of thing. It's connected to everything and also has an attachment point facing upwards. So I'm going to ignore this part because that's where I'm attaching it, and there we go. Right, so now for the attachment area, what you want is a pipe piece that connects to this and connects to this and leaves an attachment point facing upwards just like the rest of these, and leaves an attachment point facing in whatever direction you want to weld the door. So in my case, the part I'm looking for is this piece right here. So there we go, it connects to both of these. It leaves room to attach something at top, and it leaves room for me to weld this door onto this just like so, and it works perfectly. So this is what you're looking for. The next step is to add on your pistons. Now for pistons, you want to use a level 2. This is the ideal level for pistons, and I'll tell you why. If you use a level 1 just like so, it's not paintable. It leaves the gray part. If you use a level 5, this one's even worse. You can't even tell that it's painted from the outside. If you use a level 4, again, same issue. Level 3, again, same issue. It's a little bit better though, but level 2 is by far the best piston to use in terms of paintability, because the entire face and the back of it gets painted completely. So with that in mind, let's just line this entire thing with pistons just like so. Alright, perfect. Now you might be thinking, this is not quite what the doors in the example looked like. How do you get them to be, in this block? Well, for that, you're going to need the blueprint editing tool. let's right click on all of these so that we can select them all at once and we don't have to do the same adjustment to every single piston separately, just like that. So now I've selected all the pistons. Now I'm going to left click on the piston, and now I'm going to find out which axis they're on. So I'm going to get a better view of this. From here I can see all the different axes a little bit better, so I'm going to left click from here. Now I can see that in order to move it into this block, I need to move it along the y-axis, and this way is positive, moving it this way is negative, so I need to move it in the negative direction. So I'm going to press -Y, and as you can see, that's exactly what it does. So ideally you will have painted the pistons beforehand so that you don't have to paint them while they're inside of a pipe piece, but it's not that big of a deal, you can still paint it just fine. So I'm going to quickly choose a color that's similar to wood so you can't really tell from afar that they're even there, and perfect. So now, as you can see, we have a door that's lined with pistons that will not get stuck, or at least in my experience it has never gotten stuck. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the beauty of doing it this way is that when you delete part of the creation, as you can see, the pistons still stay. So I'm just gonna delete these buttons so they don't fall off, and yeah, as you can see, I can delete the entire thing. So I can modify the design here without worrying about these pistons glitching out. So for example, I can replace part of it with concrete if I really wanted to. There we go. I can replace another part of it with glass, just like that. And I can even do some fancy little glitch worlds just like this. There we go. Perfect. I can paint this one black and this one red, this one grey, and the glass white. Perfect. I can make whatever design I want on my door and give it a door handle. It really doesn't matter. These pistons will stay exactly where they are and I won't have to worry about them ever again. Oh yeah, I need to actually put my buttons on there, don't I? Perfect. Right, so now I have a door that looks pretty good, that doesn't get stuck, very functional. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much just the best of both worlds, really. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. If you didn't, please subscribe. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next one.